Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to our podcast for today. Today we're going to discuss about reports on the Ron Clark stories and how it's related to educational psychology. And I'm the host for today's programs. My name is Putri Nunaili binti Muhammad Nazli and I'm from DTE0601. Before we start, let me our three guests for tonight. Bye!
Everyone, my name is Nanka Marina. I'm one of the guests for tonight. I am also from DTE0601.
Hello everyone, I am Humaira and I'm also from DTE0601.
And I'm Shafika, the final guest for tonight, also from DTE0601. Thank you for listening to us today. And don't worry, we're not going to sound like a boring textbooks. We'll keep it chill, okay?
Exactly. We'll make this podcast as chill as possible, so don't worry. So before we start, let me ask everyone a simple question. Have you ever had a teacher who make you want to actually go to classes?
Oh, definitely. The kind of teachers who makes Mondays feel less painful.
Wait, those teachers exist?
They do, and honestly, Ron Clark is one of those teachers. The movie shows how one teacher can completely change students' attitudes and academic performance. Yeah.
That's right, Miss Kamarina. So our analysis question is, how does Ron Clark teaching style influence other student academic performance and classroom behavior?
Wait, to answer that question, let's first talk about the movie itself. The Ron Clark story follows Ron Clark, who is a passionate teacher who suddenly moves to New York and chooses to teach students and chooses to teach class known for poor academic performance and also bad behavior.
And when we say bad behavior, we really meant bad behavior. The students ignore instructions, talk back, disrupted lessons, and basically gave Ron Clark the hardest welcome possible.
Exactly. Most people would already probably run away after the first week.
Honestly, I might not even survive the first day.
I agree with that.
Yes.
But Ron Clark didn't give up. Instead, he worked hard to understand his students, gain their trust, and even create a better learning environment for them.
That's right. This brings us to the main educational psychology issue in the movie, which is the impact of teaching style on students' motivation, behavior, and academic performance.
Before Ron Clark arrived, many of the students had negative experiences with learning. They were interested in lessons, lacked motivations, and didn't believe they could actually succeed academically.
That's true. We can clearly see through their classroom behavior. They refuse to participate, they ignore classroom rules, and also they show very little interest in education.
That's right, I agree with Miss Shafika. In educational psychology, motivation are very important because motivated students are likely more to engage in learning activities and can perform better in academic.
Unfortunately, the students in the movie have really low motivation. Their previous learning experiences did not encourage active participation or confidence.
Well, as a result, their classroom behavior became more negative. They were disruptive, disengaged, and unwilling to cooperate with teachers.
Right. It's like when someone keeps telling you that you're bad at something, eventually you stop believing it yourself.
I agree.
That's right. That's actually a very good point. Many of the students have really convinced themselves that they were failures before even trying.
So wait. Let me understand this better. So why is this issue important in educational psychology?
Well, it's simply because teaching style influences students emotionally, behaviorally, and cognitively.
Yes.
A teacher doesn't just teach content, they also shape students' attitudes toward learning.
That's right. In the movie, ineffective teaching methods lead to poor motivation and classroom behavior. However, Ron Clark introduced new teaching approaches. Everything started to change.
So it's basically proof that the way that we teach the students can either make them excited to learn or maybe make them stare at the clock every 5 seconds. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that student is very mean. I always
Yeah.
do that in the class. I always do that in the
So
class.
relatable.
Right.
Like I agree with Miss Shafika's statement earlier. I very related to that point. I very related. Okay, so let's move on to another point. That is about classroom interaction. If I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of the movie, the student barely participate in the lesson. Isn't it? They barely participate in the lesson, right?
Yes, I agree. But later on, I noticed that when Ron Clark used more engaging and student-centered approaches, students became more active and cooperative.
Right, I do agree about that. Their confidence improved as well. They were no longer afraid to contribute ideas or participate in classroom activities.
Yeah.
Yep, which shows that learning isn't supposed to be like a one-person show where the teacher talks for an hour and everyone else became statue.
Okay, now let's connect this issue to real life ESL classroom in Malaysia.
Actually, I think these situations happen quite often. Some students are afraid to speak English because they worry about making mistakes.
Yes. And when students feel embarrassed or judged, they become less willing to participate.
Yes, and I think that we've seen that one student who knows the answer but still refuse to bear hand.
Sometimes that student is mean. Because I'm shy.
Same.
Relatable,
Yes, I do.
We all have experience with it, right?
Yeah. And that's why Malaysian ESL teachers need to create a supportive classroom environment where students feel comfortable expressing themselves.
I agree with that, Miss Kamarina. Besides that, classroom management is also important because teachers need to, because when teachers fail to establish clear expectation, the student may become distracted.
That's
As you can see in many real classroom today, where students talk during lessons, ignore instructions, or refuse to complete the task.
Yes, and suddenly the classroom becomes louder than the night market.
Oh my god, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's actually very true. Good point. Okay, let's move on on how Ron Clark solved the problem in the movie.
Oh, I noticed that one of the biggest changes was his use of student-centered learning approaches.
This also connects to chapter 4, which focuses on student-centered constructivities approaches.
Oh, so you're saying instead of simple lecturing, Ron Clark used collaboration, group discussion, and group activities?
Yes,
Yeah.
and as a result, the students become active participants instead of passive listeners.
Through these activities, students build their understanding through interaction and experience.
As a result, we can see here, they become more motivated and engaged in learning.
I understand. Also, this movie also refers to chapter 5, isn't it? It's about information processing and cognitive theories.
Ron Clark used creative teaching methods such as songs, raps, games, and storytelling.
Wow, imagine studying to rap songs. I mean, that's way more interesting than reading 50 slides full of stacks, right?
Good point.
These strategies help students process and remember information more effectively, I think.
Yeah.
So in everyone's opinion, it's basically about the lesson become easier to understand for the student because the student were actively involved in the learning process.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I understand right now.
Well, another important theory that I think is that chapter 6, behavioral theories.
I think Ron Clark used positive reinforcement rather than focusing only on punishment.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, he basically, instead of saying you are wrong, he focused more on saying good job, keep improving, like that. He used that compliment.
Exactly. Ron Clark rewarded participation, progress, and effort.
Yep.
This encourages students to continue improving their behavior and academic performance.
I think positive reinforcement also helps build students' confidence.
And which honestly something every students need. Sometimes a little encouragement goes a long way.
I agree.
Sometimes teachers need to give encouragement to the students.
Yes. Yeah. It helps students.
Yes, to keep them motivated, right?
True.
So, finally, the movie connects to chapter 7, effective lesson.
Ron Clark constantly motivated his students and reminded them of their potential.
He also believed in them even when they did not believe in themselves.
Yes, I agree. And that's probably one of the most powerful things that a teacher can do.
Yes.
Ron Clark is a good teacher, honestly, right?
Yeah, I agree. He's so sweetheart.
Exactly. His encouragement has helped more students to become confident, responsible, and become motivated learner.
And looking at Malaysian ESL classrooms, teachers can apply similar strategies.
For example, teachers can use games, role plays, discussions, and collaborative activities to make English lessons more enjoyable for students.
Yes, I agree with you because let's be honest, nobody wants to spend an entire lesson copying notes from the board or from the slides.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with Miss Shabika. Also, teacher can also build a strong relationship with students.
When students feel respected and supported, they're more likely to participate actively in class.
Positive teacher-student relationships can improve both behavior and academic achievement.
So, before we end, let's summarize our findings.
The movie demonstrates that teaching methods significantly affect students' learning behavior and motivation.
Ineffective teaching can cause students to become passive, disengaged, and less interested in learning.
But effective teaching can completely transform a classroom.
Yes, I agree with you. And I think that through engaging activities, positive reinforcement, classroom management, and also a supportive relationship, I think that the student can achieve better academic outcomes.
Yes.
The movie reminds us that teaching is not just about delivering information.
Oh, I agree. It's also about inspiring students and helping them believe in themselves.
And hopefully surviving a classroom full of energetic students and naughty students.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
As a teacher, we can learn many valuable lessons from Ron Clark approach. Isn't it?
Yes. I think we also should be creative, supportive, and willing to adapt our teaching methods according to students' needs.
Most importantly, I think we should create learning environments where students feel safe, motivated, and confident.
Yep, I agree with you because I think that every student deserves a teacher who believes in them.
So ni kan,
Okay.
that's a beautiful way to end our discussion.
Thank you everyone for listening to our podcast.
We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some useful insights about educational psychology.
See you next time and remember,
Great teacher don't just teach, they inspire. That's the end of our podcast.
bye!